interpreted her arguments as really just saying
I think it was more of like
she's
the
more
things
attached
that she
to
was
the.
being accused of, and then if you read the books, it kind of like.
And then she made Dumbledore gay at the end.
Cho Chen was a little
Oh
crazy.
my god.
He's
The one Asian character.
The one Asian character was
Cho
Cho Chen, and then there's like the one brown character, and what was the name, like Patel or something like that. It was just like
the Patel sisters. There's
right,
two Patels.
Right. But I mean, that aside is like, you know, what the books are written, like, I don't even know, like, they're a long time ago, like 2000s?
That's not a long time ago.
Long time ago for me.
1997, I think, was the first
So, yeah,
movie.
I mean,
wasn't
it kind of just comes with the times, but then all like there's just so much stuff speculating. And
They were
just, like,
supposed to be
yeah.
children's stories initially, you know.
I'm just saying. But no, I don't forgive her for not. That's really my problem with her. I don't have a problem with her until it comes to the fact that she didn't write me back. That's when I get a little bit.
That would do
Angry.
it. That would do it.
If you're a child's book writer, you know, that's
Yeah,
part
like-
of the job. I mean, you have to.
But like, and I was writing to her while I was reading the books, and so like the whole week that I was reading Harry Potter, I'm just like writing to her.
You
setting
should
up-
have had a video log.
Right,
and
but, like,
posted
I thought it'd
it on
be really cool
YouTube.
for her to like see my, and I would write her like analysis and all this stuff. I did book reports on them, like a whole bunch of stuff, and she never even wrote back. And I thought it was kind of rude.
Well,
Kind of rude.
send it to me. I'll write back.
They're long gone now. They're somewhere off in the UK. Who even knows? That was when I was like in 6th grade. Man.
I argue that the main theme in the Harry Potter books is Lily, Harry's mom, using the intermediaries, which is mostly him, to fight Voldemort. And in the end, she wins.
I can see it.
And Lily is the nickname for Lilith.
Mm-hmm.
And Lilith, who is Lilith?
That's the wife to, I think, the devil, right? Something like that. She's like
Ah, no. She was the first feminist in one interpretation of the story. Who is Lilith? She was the first wife of Adam, but she didn't behave. She wanted to be in charge. And so Adam asked God for a different wife, and that's when Eve was created.
Really stand Lilith.
And so Lilith is, well, look, they call her a she-demon. She's banished.
I know a lot of people who, I guess, not follow Satanism, but who are really interested in Satanism, and I'm really interested in just religion in general. But a lot of them, she's kind of like an icon. Like, they look up to her, like, not like in a religious aspect, but she's one of the very few women, I think, that in literature and any text that we have dated back that stand up for themselves. And I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't think you see that very often.
When was the story, was it Book of Isaiah or something? Or was it written?
About the time of Solomon, they think. In fact, well, it depends. I mean, no one really knows. My favorite in that stuff is Who Wrote the Bible? By Friedman, I think his name was. Gosh, it looks like the question I wanted the book. Okay, so here it is. This is the book I meant. I had a different book that I was really fond of at one point. It was called The Book of Jay. It was edited by Harold Bloom, and it was a translation of the earliest books of the Torah Um, and I thought it was terrific. And I used to bring books into class and I would pass them around. Well, the day that I passed that around, someone stole it.
Oh.
You know, it was gone. You know, some student decided they wanted to keep it. You know, and okay, well, at least I shared it with a student.
Right.
You know, and I had already read it and I remember it. But
I would be upset. I'm someone who, when I buy I am a paperback person. So if I buy a paperback, it's mine forever. And even if I loan it and they're like, well, you've already read it, I reread my books. I like rereading my books. I don't think that like you should buy a book and then never read it again. I think
there's
it's
a
even
quote
more
going
interesting.
around by C.S. Lewis. You know, it doesn't make sense for someone to say they love a book if they've only read it once.
Right, and it's like, I'm like somebody who like has to watch movies that I already know the ending to. Like I like familiarity, like in text and in my media, and so I reread my books, and I think that you should, because it's like a different perspective every time.
Well, you know,
And
I
always
read.
catch something that I never see.
Yep. I have 3 books that I read every single year.
I do.
Just
I
because
think
they're like super important, like, and they're so like complex too. Like you just go over it first time and you got like
Which
one understanding, you
books?
do the second time and it's a totally
I have
different.
books like that, but I also just have like books that like really, I mean, they're very face value. There's no hidden meaning. There's no nothing. I just like to read it. It's like Paper Towns by John Green. You can look into like like a middle school analysis of what you think is going on, but ultimately the book is just face value. You know, you can really look into the meaning of Paper Towns, but it's really, there's not a lot of like, oh my gosh, what's your point of view on this? It's very, there's only 1 or 2 different things, but I still read it at least 3 times a year.
Did I tell you guys that I've been reading the Harry Potter books in Russian,
Mm-hmm.
German, and French?
Right, like even then, like you
And
catch
I bought
something.
the Spanish version, and I've actually started working on book 1 in Spanish.
I didn't
No hablo español, you know, but you can actually figure it out, you know. 'Cause-
Yeah.
But
See,
it's.
like, that's
I thought
cool.
it would be easier because I thought it's similar to French. Well, it isn't. Those darn Spanish people have invented a new
Yeah,
word for
Spanish
everything.
is definitely, like, I've always been told, like, because they always teach it in high school. And it's like, well, Spanish is one of the easiest languages if you want to learn a second language. I'm just like, it is and it isn't. And it's like, it's really difficult, I think. That's something like, I tried learning French, Korean, Mandarin. I tried it all. And Spanish was definitely one of the hardest. Like, I can speak more Japanese than I can speak Spanish.
All right. Well, we're actually way past our time, and the folks for the next class are sitting out in the hallway. So I have to say adieu. Goodbye. Have a nice day. Be careful. Keep warm, everybody.
Yeah, it was
That's-
3 degrees. It said it was actually 12 degrees, but I looked at the weather and it said feels like 3. And I was like, what do you mean it feels like 3? How do you go from 12 degrees to 3 degrees?
Did you guys have like horrible winds today and yesterday?
I did. I stayed in.
We have not.
Really? In Palmer, it was
What happened?
crazy. It was like I opened my car
I'm
door.
out.
and
I am out.
busted the hinge.
All right. I signed out. I don't know how that happened. But, all right. See you Thursday.